My name is George Aguilar, and today we will be discussing the startup procedure on a clay valve model 90-01 pressure reducing valve. The discussion today is intended to provide a basic overview of a typical commissioning procedure. Now, each system is different with its own hydraulic characteristics, and that should be taken into consideration when planning a proper startup. For literature pertaining to our 90-01, please visit our website. So on to the startup and the setting of the 90-01 pressure reducing valve. Now again, we are going to assume that this valve is a newly commissioned station or that this valve has just been recently serviced or rebuilt. So with that being said, we are going to assume that the upstream and the downstream gate valves are both closed. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we introduce water to the cover or to the valve. So we're going to slowly open up our upstream gate valve. By doing that, we bring water pressure to the valve, through the pilot system, and onto the cover of the valve, making sure that the valve is in the closed position. Now, with this being said, we want to make sure that all of the ball valves, the inlet, the cover, and the downstream ball valves are all in the open position. Secondly, we want to make sure that we remove all of the air out of both the main valve and the pilot system itself. So in this case here with this valve, we have an X101 position indicator. We can loosen the wing nut that's on top here until you have a steady flow of water. If you don't have the position indicator, there'll be a body plug similar to this. Loosen that a couple of turns until you have a steady flow of water. Once you've confirmed that all of the air is out of the main valve, we will confirm we need to get the air out of the pilot system. So we'll loosen this nut here again until you have a steady flow of water. Tighten this nut back up and we're on to the next step. Now, our CV, our speed control, in this case here, this is an opening speed control. Opening speed controls are standard on all valves 3-inch and smaller. On valves 4-inch and larger, opening and closing speed controls are both optional features. We want to make sure that the speed control is backed out and out of the way when we are setting this valve. So we remove the cover, we'll loosen the jam nut here, and we will back this out so that the speed control is out of the way. Now, as we've mentioned before in previous videos, our CRD, our pressure reducing pilot, is a normally open pilot because of the spring tension inside of the CRD on the cover of this body here. We want to get the CRD into the closed position. So in order to get it into the closed position, we will need to loosen the jam nut here and back out on this adjustment screw. Backing out counterclockwise will get us to the lowest setting of the CRD. Now that we know that we're at the lowest setting of the CRD, what we'll do at this point is we will slowly start to open up our downstream gate valve so that the main valve will open and start to introduce water into the system. Now, a 90-01 pressure reducing valve is designed to maintain a downstream pressure regardless of flow rate, regardless of demand. It's always trying to find or modulate into the setting of the CRD. With that being said, you do need some type of flow in order to set this valve. We will slowly make the adjustment to the CRD to the desired setting. Now, half turn, wait for the change in the system, watch your gauges, and slowly walk up the PSI setting on the CRD until you get to your desired setting. Lock your jam nut, replace the cover on the CRD. So now we know that we have confirmed the setting on the pressure reducing pilot. Now we'll get to the speed control, or CV. Now this one here is an opening speed control. There is no pressure range or speed range that is given to a CV. Again, it's based on the characteristics of your system. But You can give it a couple of turns to start, maybe 1, 2 turns to start. Lock the jam nut, replace your cover, and that's the setting of the CV. So now we have the CRD set, the speed control set. Now you're good to go. Again, make your adjustments slow on the CRD. Adjustments on the CV vary to your system. That is the basic startup procedure for our 90-01 pressure reducing valve. For troubleshooting, repairs, or a closer operation of our CRD or our main valve, please visit our website. Thanks for watching.